welcome back to Superman and Lois TV Talk. This is our episode for the Superman and Lois episode, Failsafe. I'm Derek.
I'm Frank.
And we're down a man.
Which man?
Robin.
Oh. Okay.
Ouch! Oh, him.
You never know. It feels like there's always one of us missing. Yeah, it was his turn.
Always. We're determined to all be together because there's only 2 episodes left.
Yes.
Following this episode. However, to get to those final 2 episodes, we have to go through yet another hiatus.
Yeah.
I feel like Pinkman toward the end of Breaking Bad. He can't keep getting away with every time the Berlanti logo comes on.
It's just, yeah.
Just because there's no helping logo. But, every time I'm just like, he can't keep getting away with this. Every time I get back in the groove for more episodes,
every time I get back in, they pull me back out. Wait.
Pull me back out. They're like, no. All of you that think you're getting consecutive Superman and Lois, take one step forward. Not so fast, Derek and Frank.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're going to give you 2 new episodes, and then we're going to go away for a year.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
It's not been that bad. I mean, there's some shows that, that have ridiculous breaks and go on for years before you get a new season. So, yeah, we've had some.
No, it's no Curb Your Enthusiasm, but
no, or It's Always Sunny or something like that. So it's been a few breaks here and there, but we're staring down the bottom of the barrel here at the last couple. We've got episode 14, The Eradicator. Yeah. If you
think I have an idea what's going to happen there.
If you took a shot every time that got said in this episode,
seriously, yeah,
we'll see you at your funeral. And then it got dark.
Yikes!
You're dead. And then the season finale, Last Sons of Krypton, plural.
Yes.
Yes. Is that spoilery? It's not spoilery. Go ahead.
I don't think it's spoilery. It's out there. It's in your TV guide.
Yeah. It's in your TV guide. Welcome to 1994.
Yeah. It's in the issue of TV guide that was recently delivered to your doorstep or in your supermarket. Wherever you pick it up.
I said that negatively. There still is a TV guide, but it's far more
it's
magazine than guide these days.
Correct. Yeah.
TV guide channel still a thing?
No, that became Pop. That became Pop. I think that's where
Pop.
That's where you get your Schitt's Creek now.
Where you get your Schitt's Creek. Well,
your S Creek now.
Or know.
So, man, I don't know that we have much in terms of news headlines or any of that to really go over. Not a whole lot. I just want to get into this episode. Yeah, I just want to jump in and
there's a fantastic interview. I may have before the last one. Did Craig at Krypton Sign interview Alex?
Yeah. Yes, Alex Garfin, who plays Jordan. Yeah. That was a fantastic interview. That was out before our last episode. Robin mentioned it briefly last week, and it was fantastic interview. Definitely check that out if you haven't already over at Krypton site, because Craig always does A+ work, and just is able to get the cast and crew and all the folks from these shows. Whenever he's able to talk to them, he is really able to get some great tidbits from them and get a feel for things going on behind the scenes. Alex did share what his favorite shot from the finale is like.
That's right. I remember y'all talking about that now.
So there's some good stuff there. Definitely check that out. And thanks to Craig for doing what he does.
Well, I was thinking Alex, but then I remembered he did do a new interview for this episode, and it was with Sophia, who plays Beppo. That's up over.
Beppo.
That was for the Beppo. That's up for this episode.
That's
so
hot on the heels of the announcement that she'll be a season regular in season 2.
Yes, coming back for more in season 2. So excited to read that. Had to find that on Krypton site, and we're gonna jump right into this episode because, I would call it a budget saver of an episode. Not in a negative light. We've had some budget heavy episodes these last few, so you always kind of got to reel that in and do some dialogue heavy and some drama and some stuff that doesn't cost as much. And I think that's what we saw here with Failsafe. Definitely
more of a budget saver, but there were some the characters are really what drives this show, right? Like the action sequences, the effects have been great. Like, let's just talk about that for just a quick second. This is like stepping things up from a typical CW action sequence and VFX budget. Like the effects look phenomenal on this show. So it's no surprise. I would think that they needed to take an episode to take a beat and save some of that budget for the final 2 episodes of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that because the character work is so fantastic. And I really enjoyed how much we had a focus on the boys this week.
Boys?
Yes. And on Lois. And I really, that's what this show is built on in a lot of ways, is those characters and their relationship with Clark, right? It's Clark's show. It's Superman and Lois. But you don't have Superman and Lois without Lois, and you don't have it without their sons. So I love the focus on them this week. Boys.
Sorry.
The whole skipping school. Let's start with that. Let's start with the boys. The whole skipping school and how that all sort of impacted everything, really. So Jordan and Sarah going off and getting arrested for trespassing, I guess. Meanwhile, Jonathan has a encounter that seems too good to be true, and I guess turned out that it was.
And it was. Should have seen that coming, though, right?
Yeah. Did you feel like, is there more to her than just she wants to be popular? Like, or is do you feel like there's an edge angle to her?
She's a subject.
She's a subject, yeah. I don't know.
With a K.
Leslie Lar's daughter.
She's a subject with a K for Kryptonian.
Yes.
No, I don't know. I stopped. Listen, after what's his name in the army? What was his name? Crap.
The one who turned out to be a
Sam's right
subject.
Yeah. Cried. Yeah, that's where my mind's at, between COVID fog and just waking up. I
remember. I don't remember his name either, but I do remember. Yeah, and when at the DOD when he turned
Rossetti.
That's it. Hey, good, snatching it from the jaws of defeat.
Good grief. Okay. So after him, I just kind of all bets were off. I mean, at some point we were like, is Beppo? Is she a subject? Like, we're just.
I think we did throw that out there at one point. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just think yet again, Jonathan, good. Just cut him a break. Give him one good thing.
Burn twice.
One good thing.
I know. He really can't catch a break this season. I really hope that in season 2 he gets some, or by the end of the season gets some kind of a win. Poor kid.
I keep waiting. I don't know. We need to make our finale predictions before the finale gets here.
I know it's true. Well, I'd want to wait till next week, a couple weeks when we're back from hiatus, so we can.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just wondering if him having abilities is
yeah. I don't think that's ever off the table. Honestly, I don't think that's ever going to be off the table.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I do. So I feel for him. Jordan, on the other hand, like I am happy for him. And I think I said this early on that I kind of feel like I can relate to Jordan in a lot of ways, because it's just sort of how he feels like he doesn't fit in, and he feels he's got his mental health that he's working through. I feel like I can relate to him in a lot of ways, and he finally got the girl, and then got her arrested.
See, kids, that's what happens when you go around kissing. You get arrested.
Yeah, so don't.
Yeah.
Just don't. The Cushings also can't seem to catch a break at the moment with aside from Sarah getting arrested.
If you had told me by episode 2 that toward the end of the season I was going to feel so sorry for them,
I know.
I would have,
for Kyle in particular.
But definitely Lana after having hear that conversation.
Oh yes. No, I mean I wouldn't have believed that I'd feel bad for Kyle in particular. Yeah.
I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
I said, when we were when we were ramping up around the time of Oh Mother Where Art Thou, or when we finally see that he the twist that he was a subject. I think it was the one right before that in episode 9. And I was like, he loves this town. He's just doing the wrong things for the right reason. It may not like his personality or his decorum, so to speak, but his ability to care about his family and care about this community is strong. And now, of course, the other, that's right brain. Left brain's like, well, look, you deserve it, you prick.
Yeah.
Lois tried to tell you. You should have listened.
True. But it's that dichotomy, I guess, of there's the, you need to make the mistake to learn from it.
Yeah.
Like he needed to be wrong and not have trusted Lois to now do the right thing next time.
Right. Everything pretty much in this episode is fallout from the realization of what Hedge was doing in town. So you've got, obviously they're having a school assembly to discuss it with students at Smallville High. But just like Kyle and Lana are getting crap from every angle, so is Sarah at school.
Yeah.
She knows people are talking about her behind her back. She doesn't want to do that. So she jets. Jonathan gives him the go ahead. You see, gives him that little nod.
Yeah.
You go on after. So Jordan takes off after her. They ditch school, so they don't have to go through the assembly. Jonathan ends up ditching school because he thinks he got a better offer, which ultimately he did not. We've got Beppo and Lois fighting from the fallout of everything. And then obviously you've got the Sam Irons Clark storyline that deals directly with fallout from Edge and what that means for Superman at large moving forward. And I think that's one of the bigger conversations to have in this episode is did you feel that was very a Superman thing to do for him to tell Sam to keep the kryptonite?
His motives were very Superman. His motivation that, look, we've never seen Superman in this exact situation, really, where he actually was compromised. I mean, I'm struggling to think of a situation quite like this, where he actually was compromised in this way, and now is being faced with the question of, how do I prevent this from happening again? Also, I'll add to that. It seems like every time he's like, well, he's the last son of, okay, we got the last son and the last daughter of Krypton. Okay, the last son, but then the guy came back from the Phantom. Okay, but then this guy actually never died and his pod got knocked off. Okay, so he's not actually the last anything of Krypton. So at this point, why should he be like, well, there's no more Kryptonians coming? Like, it's not just about him. It's like, there's probably more Kryptonians coming. I'm like a beacon and I attract them.
Wasn't 202 of Supergirl called Last Children of Krypton?
Yeah, there you go. Like it's not. I mean, I don't know after post crisis where this stands anymore, but we had the whole Kandor thing floating out there, where Superman and Lois went off to help them get established.
Argo City, yeah.
Argo City. I'm sorry. Yes, Argo City. So it's not surprising to me that he would, with all of that knowledge, all of those inputs, it doesn't surprise me that he would feel that, you know what, maybe I do need to be stopped, or maybe at least people deserve to have some way of defending themselves if this were to happen to me again.
I wish there had been a in the last episode, was it the last episode? Yeah, where Lois tells the twins, like, I've been dealing with this for 20 years. Offhand line like that. Like, I wish there had been like a list of her going, there was the time when blank happened, or the same way that on Argo we got the Doomsday and the General Zod and all those back during Crisis. If we had heard some name drops or some Easter eggs there of famous, whether it be comic or live action interactions where he had done battle or been compromised.
I agree. I do wish we had that. Yeah, that would have been a really cool little thing for us.
Like
and
a little note.
Robin loves his data points, and I love those moments where we get a little peek into the history, the character's history.
And we got one this episode. Clark says he's been maintaining his abilities, controlling his powers for nearly 40 years.
Yes. So puts him in his late 30s.
Yeah.
Let's say 38, just in the spirit of 1938.
Say 38.
So
file that with all of Robin's previous math, which I don't have handy. I think it is
the only thing that
time to make a Superman Lois TV Talk graphic. I think it's time for a bar graph or a timeline or
we need an infographic to kind of chart this all out, because if they've been together for 20 years, that would have made them like 18, but she was clearly not 18. Was she already a Pulitzer winner by that time? Pulitzer, sorry. That's a Robin question.
Well, they've said nearly 20 years, so
okay.
So I'd put him. What did we say? He was 20 when he came back to Smallville in A Brief Reminiscence, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I guess that does track then.
20 years old, starting at the paper. 20.
If he's nearly 40 and it's been nearly 20 years, then I guess that tracks.
And then so that gives them 6 years together before the twins get there. 5-6 years.
All right, that works.
Fair enough. I still want to see on the timeline what we've figured out versus Supergirl math.
Yeah, that might get wonky. there might be some things that don't add up there, but
I don't know. I didn't know how. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just gonna say it's been a while since I did the Supergirl math too, so I need to dust that off.
I didn't know how I felt about him encouraging Sam to keep 7734.
I think he was wrong about 7734 in particular, but I think he was right about there needs to be some means of stopping me in general.
Well, let's just juxtapose that. How did you feel about Lois's reaction to him telling Sam?
I agreed with her as well. Like, I saw her point. I would feel that way. If I am her, I would definitely feel that way.
Totally with Clark. Clark was doing the right thing. The stockpile needed to be kept, but you were on Lois's side too.
I was on Lois's side of the argument in terms of like what we know that you can be stopped. But I saw his point about like it's only fair that humanity has some way of defending themselves. And I think that the compromise of, okay, what if it's not 7734, but we put it somewhere else? Having some kind of a failsafe, I think, made sense.
That's the name of the episode. Pee Wee Herman scream. You said the secret word. Thank you.
Yeah.
Apple. So yeah, the first time we've really seen them fight since, what was that, episode 4 or 5, where she goes out drinking with Lon, when they got in that fight that time. So it's even when they fight, they have chemistry. It's ridiculous.
I know, right?
Ridiculous chemistry that they have. It's so good. Yeah, I've sided with Lois because, and I think why I sided with Lois is because it sounded like her version of the Superman end of what that argument would normally be. Like it sounded like, the way he would normally, because haven't we had that on? Yeah, we did have that on Supergirl. One of the whole plot lines when he first shows up at the DEO is finding out that John Jones has all the kryptonite. Yeah. And him getting really angry about it. Now, obviously, times have changed, and this is show and everything. But I do remember that being a sticking point. And at that time, only remember the DEO being the ones to have the kryptonite.
Yes.
No.
Yes, they had a stockpile, and they had weaponized it in all kinds of different ways: defensive weapons, offensive weapons. Yeah, they had done that, but I don't know how much of that still exists in our timeline.
Because didn't John agree to get rid of it?
He did. He did. They got rid of all guns at the DEO eventually.
Yeah.
Um,
Are they gonna like put it on the moon or something?
Jean. Yeah, I think it was going to go to space. I thought it was interesting that Sam wanted to bury this stuff in the ocean because that feels like someone could find it.
Oh man.
Right? I mean, like somebody diabolical enough could. I mean, a Morgan, a Tal Rowe could go to the bottom of the ocean and dig up a bunch of kryptonite encased in concrete.
I don't know. That's a good segue to talk about Tal, though, and Leslie, who gets apprehended in this episode. She's coming in hot to attack the
DOD
at their headquarters, wherever those may be. I thought they were sticking around Smallville for a while, but then they were back at the DOD again.
Yeah.
It literally just said in the previous scene, Grandpa says he's sticking around for, a little while longer.
Was that like his field office in Smallville?
It looked like the main, it looked like a...
It did. You're right. Look at the skyscraper.
No pun intended, but it's a pretty big sprawling campus of a place wherever she was about to attack. Superman intercepts at the last minute, as does Steel. Is that what we've decided to call him? I feel like I call him something different in every episode.
So do they. They call him John Irons. They call him John Henry. They call him John Henry Irons. Like they just sort of, it's just, they can't land on what he wants to be called.
Yeah, neither can we.
Yeah.
The stranger. Billy Joel, is, then maybe we should call him Billy Joel. But he's strapped on the suit to go flying as well to take down Leslie, and he does. He hits her with the pulse and knocks her out, and we get a little
down she goes.
Get a little fist bump between Superman and Steel.
That was fun.
Nice shot. Thanks. Like to see them warming up to each other.
I would watch like a whole buddy cop episode of just the two of them.
It's like an animated spinoff, like at the end.
Yes.
At the end of every episode.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
When he was spray painting the suit, did you think there was an S going on there?
I thought for sure there was an S going on there. I was so confident. I was like, no, and then it ended up not being. It ended up being something for Natalie. Yeah, which I actually like that better.
We really haven't discussed in several episodes, and I know per Crisis that those other planets ceased to be and then got for the most part rebooted. I kind of want to believe she's still out there.
I think she is. I think she is. And I feel like they're dangling that thread between the spray painting that and the dropping subtle mentions of his sister. I feel like they're setting stuff up for a season 2 storyline for him around his family. And the sister thing really intrigues me, maybe more than Natalie, because Natalie I feel like it'll be a very emotional story if and when she surfaces in some way. But the sister thing, I feel like there is something mysterious around her, and they keep dangling it, and just sort of he's putting off reuniting with her, and I want to know why.
I'll be interested to see. They've not really said whether or not he'll be in season 2 that I know of.
No, I'm making assumptions here. I'm making wild and irresponsible assumptions.
You're far too calculated for that.
I have the journalistic integrity of a Lois Lane or a Clark Kent. You have to bend it sometimes.
Always played fast and loose with those rules, Lois, or whatever that line was.
I love that acknowledgement of that. Of like, look, sometimes we got, what are you gonna do?
Writing stories about your husband flying around. So let's
cool it with the high and mighty journalistic integrity here, huh?
It works when it needs to.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I just like that sort of like wink and nod of like, yeah, they're not the best at that.
Well, they are. They're also the best at warping it to their needs.
True.
Not needs, but you know what I mean. In a way, it's very unbiased. In a way.
Look
at it. her to take herself out of the story, and more often than not has to, because she ends up being a part of it, and and refer to your husband in such a way.
I do like the way she handled that this episode with the Sam comment and delivering that to Chrissy.
I thought she was incredibly out of line.
Chrissy?
Yes.
Beppo?
I thought in a way, I thought she was asking Lois to be biased, and I guess she wasn't in a way. But I struggle with whether or not that was the right attitude for her to take when her father, again, when she's so close to the story.
Yeah.
Whether or not I mean, to me, well, Chrissy, if you've been the reporter there all along, then you need to be the one writing this story then, since Lois is so heavily involved in it. I mean, that's, what I, as a reporter, if it was ever about something involving something that was too close to me, I had to,
recuse yourself.
Yeah, quote unquote. Not that has a little bit more of a negative connotation, but just pull myself out of it and give it to another writer. So I don't know. I get that, she wanted the statement from her, but I really think, if it was something that was that important to Chrissy, which I get that it was because it happened right there in their town, they needed to be the ones covering it. But, she can put pen to paper, ink to paper, and write that just as easily as
or pick up a phone. Like she may not be his daughter, and maybe she was worried about the access, but like she's a journalist and she's the editor of the local paper. Like it's totally in line for her to reach out to the military for comment.
Yes.
And so I'm with you. That did strike me that like, okay, but like you're asking her to talk to her dad for a story. Like that's obviously a conflict of interest, and you are better situated to do that.
Yes. Like I get getting the statement from him as a source, but if it had been here, let's just say that were to happen here, and my dad was, the general over a project like that, I would not have been allowed to write that story.
Sure.
That would not have even been a thing to happen. Now, this is Lois Lane, most
sure
world, so that's a little different scenario, obviously, and Beppo doesn't know just how well. I guess to a point she does. I mean, she knows how multiple people have tried to murder Lois now. Multiple subjects have come after her. What are we, like 3 times she was attacked? 4?
At least 3.
Kyle, the guy at the hotel, and then the 2 at the barn.
Yep. The car.
The farm. And the car, yeah. So multiple times. I don't know. But at this point, I was like, Beppo, you need to lighten up just a little bit. You're taking this a little too far.
Yeah. And
he is hiding something, or doesn't want to be involved in it, then back off even more.
Yeah, respect that. I actually was a little put off by the fact that Lois apologized to her when I felt like it should have been the other way around.
Thank you. I felt the exact same way when Lois came back in there, or at least both of them at the same time apologize. One of those scenarios.
Yeah.
But Beppo was still kind of high and mighty and proud after the apology, and I was just like, I really feel like you're in the wrong here.
I do, but I guess I do to put the shoe on the other foot. I guess I understand Lois wanted to apologize for lying. When maybe she could have handled that without lying. Maybe she could have said, "Look, I'm too close to this." Like basically, she could have done what she did in the end of the episode. She could have done that at the start of this whole.
I guess, but
this whole rigmarole.
I really felt like she lied either. Like I know she apologized for lying, but all she really did was say that she wasn't going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, to a degree, up until, let's say, the reveal that Edge was Kryptonian, I guess. Beppo knew everything else, right? She was as much in the room with the red yarn going.
Right. Yeah, they were both being Charlie Day.
Push pin to push pin, Sylvia. Pepe Sylvia. So the whole time I'm
Beppo Sylvia.
Beppo Sylvia, thank you. So the whole time I'm thinking, well, 90% of it.
Right.
82%. 82%. I was told there would be no math. 82% of what's going on. You don't know that Morgan Edge is actually a secret Kryptonian, Superman's brother, and I did like when she was trying to get the statement out of Sam when Sam was talking to Lois in his office. He's like, "And what am I going to tell him that Morgan Edge is Superman's brother?" And et cetera, et cetera. Subject is spelled with a K because they're Kryptonians, et cetera, et cetera, and so forth and so on. This also sets up, though, I feel, what we'll have to talk about in spoilers at the end of this episode. And stuff we saw for a coming attraction coming up in episode 14, the Eradicator. So I don't know. The longer Chrissy dragged it out, I was just like, let it go.
At a certain point, it just
going on. I felt. Let me tell you what I felt bad for most of this episode. Not Jordan and Sarah getting arrested. Not Jonathan getting dumped on yet again. Clark struggling for what to do with 7734. I didn't feel sorry for anybody except Lois, who I think drove over that entire town 9 different times that day.
It's true, isn't it?
Wearing the same wardrobe, and every time you see her, she's having to go to another damn place. And I was like, now my kid got arrested. Now I got to go get fired. Now I got to.
I know. I got to yell at my dad again.
Yes, like she's literally in a different place all day long in the same outfit. And she's at the sheriff's station. It was funny. It was funny.
All over. Yeah, she really did have to drag herself all over Smallville. I want to know just how small this small town is.
For other people's problems.
yeah. Truthfully.
I can't stand to talk about this now because now I have to go deal with this. Stupid. My sons did something stupid.
Yeah. Her anger when she has the fight with Clark, like the first time around, and then she has she's yelling at Jonathan, and I love that with him behind her, she's like, "Get upstairs."
Doesn't see him, knows he's still standing there.
Eyes in the back of her head, and meanwhile she's yelling at her husband. Then the other one, I love when she's like, "Wasn't good enough to skip class. He has to get arrested."
Just as an aside, how terrible, I mean, awesome, but how terrible would it be to have investigative journalist Lois Lane as your mother?
Oh my gosh, you can't get away with anything.
You would never get away with, and I'm not even talking about this show, I'm just talking about it in general, as that character as a whole. You would never get away with crap. Like, it's kind of amazing they've gotten away with what they've gotten away with anyway on the show, as small potatoes as it may be. And just every time I'm like, she's gonna get you. She's Lois Lane.
Yeah. Both of your parents are reporters and one of them has superpowers.
Yeah. Well, as they said one episode, I guess right before we find out about, was it Man of Steel? I can't remember which episode it was, when they're talking about Clark's super hearing and she's like, I got a super nose.
Mm-hmm.
You do. Yeah. Nobody gets anything by the two of you.
That's right.
Stop.
Some great Lois moments though in this. Just so when she's like, and now I'm mad and I have to stay mad so that I can scare scare Jordan straight or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Bitsy is like shooting to the top of my list of favorite Loises, like to the number one with a bullet. Like, she is shooting right up there, man. I already liked her coming into this series, and now 13 episodes in, I am just like, wow, she's in the top 3, maybe by the end of the season she might be number 1. Like, she is just
funny
phenomenal
when you think about it, because you and I hold older legacy things in such high regard, like Adventures of Superman and the Donner films and everything. And it's so weird to think that in 13 episodes she's played Lois more than Margot Kidder ever did.
That's right. Yeah.
one season of a show in 13 hours, and or last 42 minutes an episode, but she'll have by the time that the season ends, she'll have played her more than Erica Durant's in the first season of Smallville and Margot.
Oh yeah,
and not to mention previous appearances in other Elseworlds and Crisis and things like that. So
sure,
you get to spend that much time with a character, and you get to see some character development there that you would have never gotten to see on the big screen in 1978 and things like that. It becomes pretty awesome. But she every week she kills it. Every dang time she brings it. And I'm with you. Yeah. Now, if you had told me following, Elseworlds that she'd be in my top Lois's, I would have been like, no. And nothing against that characterization. It was very, I do mean this derogatory, but I don't mean this derogatory. It was very Arrowverse.
Yeah.
Lois.
Well, it was a little paint by numbers, that version of Lois as written, not as Bitsy played the part, but as written.
With what she was given, and she was not given great dialogue at all,
right?
In Elseworlds or Crisis, and that's both. While I enjoyed those performances, what they've done on this show is a complete 180 from their previous appearances in those crossovers and on Supergirl.
Well, they've spent more time with the character, and they've nailed the direction that they want to take her in, and I think a lot of that is informed by Bitsy's performance. Like, the more you see of her on the screen, the more that informs the way you write the character, and it's just this beautiful, virtuous cycle of just getting better and better, and really being. I love how much she cares about the legacy of the character, and like she'll suggest outfits that the character should wear and color palettes, like, to be faithful to the fans.
Yeah, she's been extremely vocal in those decision-making things, and like you said, wardrobe. Like, we've seen her help choose what Lois is going to wear, and it's always very Lois on brand too. Like, everything she wears looks like Lois Lane.
Looks like Lois
right out of the comics. So I agree with you completely there. I've really enjoyed that, and this is yet another episode where, like the one a few back where she's in the therapist's office, this is another one where she gets to shine. Definitely. So
welcome to Bitsy Tulloch TV Talk. Next week we will be doing a retrospective of her career. Please join us. Don't miss it. Don't miss a moment.
R2D2 Beneath the Dome, and I think Robin's going to have us full look at Grimm. So
great. That's good. And then after that, he'll do the spinoff of Tulloch Minute by Minute.
That's what we're going to be doing on during the hiatus. So stay tuned.
You won't miss it.
So we've talked about the kids. Obviously, sucks about Sarah and Jordan getting arrested, but that was also kind of a fallout from the whole Edge thing.
Yeah. The whole we don't even have like a name for that like event, like
funny to me. And this is, I was about to segue to talk about Tal and everything anyway, but like the bank, the Daily Planet, like, this person owns all this stuff. Like, what's happening in the breakdown?
I know
what's happening in the reorg, the dreaded reorg.
Yeah, dreaded reorg. So while everyone is like, while the basically the guy who owns the town is in a little kryptonite cell, what is how everything's just running, like everything just carries on, and we're cool.
All intents and purposes, everybody believes he is Morgan Edge. So Morgan Edge has been, taken into custody, but there is no Morgan Edge.
Right. But even so, like, I'm sort of like, so then no one's like, is there is the vice president of the bank take over? Like, what? I don't understand. Very, very interesting. So let's talk about Tal and his no good, very bad dad.
Did you notice that I just was about to ask a question that I can't even remember what I was going to ask. So it felt
Mole.
like mole. What was I about to ask you? Oh, I don't think you guys talked about it last week, but Robin found in a previous episode where there's a banner behind Lana when she's interviewing Emily, I think, or somebody,
Yeah.
one of the subjects, and it lists off like all these things that Edge Corp or
It's like the corporate values of Edge Corp, and it spells out Tal.
yeah, it's spelled out TALS. And Robin was like, was that a hint? Was it there before us the entire time? Is technology
Tech, admin, labor, safety.
There you go. Tech, admin, labor, safety. It'll just look like one of those bland recruiting banners or something like that.
Totally.
Something you'd see in the lobby of a company. But I was like, yeah, I guess if it's spelled out, Zod, we'd see that
coming. True.
I guess you could say it was under our noses the entire time, but if you don't know who the character is, it's not really a reveal, I guess.
Sure, yeah. But an Easter egg.
An Easter egg nonetheless, yes. An Easter egg nonetheless. He's still being held up. We mentioned earlier that Leslie tries to fly in, and I mean, theoretically, she may have been part of the plan, might have been her getting abducted as well, for all we know.
Right.
But she flies in to try and save him. Theoretically, she is intercepted by Superman's steel, as we mentioned, so she's been abducted as well. So she's in her own little kryptonite cage. But Tal's been sitting there a little bit longer, has had a chance to talk to Clark, or at least Clark to talk to him. He's not giving up much information at all. Clark wants to know what he was doing with the Eradicator, why he flew out to space, why he used the heat vision. Yes, we would like to all know that too.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Although I guess it's kind of been spelled out that all of them live inside him now.
Yeah.
Takeaway. I mean,
yeah. That's my I mean, he has
become as we see at the end of the episode, become the Eradicator.
He's the Eradicator.
He is becoming, Yellow Visor Man.
Right.
The last, as he was called in the comics, the last son of Krypton.
Right.
So it's kind of a amalgamation of, I guess you could say it's the CW version of it, but it's kind of the amalgamation of comics versus earlier Eradicator comics versus Death of Superman comics.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of a mashup of the two.
Of a person, he is a man. We're not led to believe here, obviously, that he's Superman in the wake of Superman's death, because he doesn't even resemble
Superman.
No. But he definitely has. In all instances, he is either a weapon or a device used to preserve Kryptonian legacy, Kryptonian heritage, and what better way to do that than have dozens of Kryptonians living inside your head?
Right.
Submit to it fully. Like, Tal seems gone. He even says goodbye, Father.
He says goodbye, Father, and in the flashback, when he's arguing with his father, he says, like, no, I believe in the cause, I just don't know that I want to die for it. Right, or something to that effect. So he knew that the plans. Zeta's
the last time when he threw the crystal away, he was like, "I'm going to go find another way that involved me dying."
So Robin and I kind of touched on this last week, where we were sort of like, "What is going on with like what is the grand plan here, and how does it keep failing, or what?" And I theorized that maybe different phases of the plan are failing, but he's still trying to salvage it. And it turns out that it's none of that. It's that Zeta had this plan, and Tal has been trying to modify it to not have to go through with a plan that involves him dying. The plan was he becomes the Eradicator. They have this mass resurrection of dead Kryptonians infused into humans.
The
resurrection with a K. And that was the plan, and he was like, well, no, I found another Kryptonian. You didn't tell me about that. Maybe there's another way where I don't have to die. And tells Zeta's insistent that this is the only way, and says some misogynistic things about his wife, and tries to kill his son.
There was a lot of talk about Lara in this episode, so there is a Lara crystal floating around.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a Lara crystal, and I guess that's the crystal that Superman had.
No.
No?
No,
But they found it. They found it at the cave.
that was the Zeta crystal that Superman had.
Okay.
He said,
so the Lara crystal's still out there.
My father, like I destroyed your father. Yeah, there's a Lara crystal still out there, and I feel like they wouldn't have set that up without. So now I'm wondering, this could kind of be cool for the future of the series if we don't no longer have a Jor-El crystal, if we have a Lara in the fortress.
Yeah.
I think that would be huge.
I'd be so down with that.
I think that would be awesome thing moving.
Do we have?
Because Jor-El's gone, theoretically.
I would be so.
I feel like they would not have brought that up if it's not going to be utilized.
No, I think you're right. You're onto something there. That's so I misunderstood which crystal that was. So that's yeah. I think you're onto something with that. Yeah. Okay, that's really cool. That excites me.
Always get Jor-El in the fortress. I mean, how, and if that's truly gone, what cooler thing to do than have his mom in there?
Absolutely.
Sort of having both of them, obviously.
Yes.
I don't know. That was the first thing I thought when that got thrown out there. It was like, okay, well, Clark can recover that and use that in the fortress.
That's a really cool idea. Yeah. I'm excited for that in like season 2. I would love to see that come in.
It's just a throwaway thing. Who knows? But I think it's something cool they could do. And I would forgive them for the death of Jor-El a little bit more because that hurt.
Yeah.
Happen. And Tal says, well, go ahead, destroy, take out my father's voice in my head as much as I did yours. And Superman's like, nope, you will never see this. You'll never see this crystal again, and you'll never see me again after this conversation. Which kind of stings Edge a little bit.
Yeah. Because he does seem to want a relationship with him, like he wants them to be on the same side. He just wants it to be his side.
Yes. I'm backtracking my thoughts from last week a little bit. Of course, I wasn't on the episode, but my initial reaction and I think you guys touched on this when you recorded, my initial reaction at the end of the episode was, well, this was the plan all along to get caught. Burke there at the end, and I assume, yeah, that was the whole point all along. I don't feel like that was the case anymore after this episode. In fact, I feel like him flying up with the Eradicator was a last-ditch effort. I was thinking the whole Ocean's 11 thing, and this was all part of the plan to get caught. And
yeah, it looks like it was a last-ditch effort, and it's like, all right, I guess I got to do what Dad said. After all,
I guess I will have to die to become the Eradicator.
Right.
I don't know why he had to fly into space. I don't know if that was part of it. I don't know if he was just trying to get away and that was the direction he headed because it looked cool, or what. But
yeah,
definitely whatever was left, whatever souls were left inside the Eradicator, and now he is the Eradicator.
He is. Yeah.
On the far side of the sun, gaining strength for the coming fight, I assume.
Mm-hmm. That was cool. That was a cool shot too.
And definitely had all those voices still in his head, including Zeta, who is become the Eradicator and then the chorus of the souls joining in.
Yes, he's all the Jedi now.
Yeah. Oh God. I
can only say that because Robin's not here. But so, okay. Looking ahead to, we have, well, I guess we'll talk in spoilers about what we think is happening next, but I feel like I hope we end this season on a satisfying note, but I also am looking forward to a good cliffhanger.
So nice little resolution to everything. Last 5 seconds, boom.
Yes.
Not your typical other show where it's like 9 dangling threads and then.
I at least want to see some of them resolved, right? Like I don't know that I could do a second season of more of like, chasing the Eradicator or whatever, and I'm sure that's not what they have planned, but I feel like that needs to be resolved. But I do think there's some dangling threads with John Henry. I think there's some dangling threads with the boys and their various relationships and so forth. And I think we could see Clark or Superman in a new situation, Clark and or Lois in a new situation that is a cliffhanger.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think definitely the Tal storyline will be wrapped up, but
Yeah.
more to be. I still maintain that I believe by the end of the season that Sarah is going to find out that Clark is Superman.
Yeah, I feel like the episode titles usually have multiple meanings, and a title like Last Sons of Krypton probably has multiple meanings in terms of the twins and Tal and Cal.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen, and I think that's going to happen because they've kind of turned that whole. They didn't drag out this whole Sarah Jordan thing for seasons.
Right.
They didn't Clark and Lana it.
That's right. Yeah.
They're making out in the woods now in episode 13. So or whatever. So they're getting arrested together. They've sped up their timeline greatly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Versus what a WB would have done.
That's right. Yeah.
So I feel like that's coming. And we probably need to touch on this a little bit too. The whole idea or element of the Cushings moving away kind of being discussed now. That's obviously gonna that is very WB. We just got together and now my parents are moving.
Right. That's true. I don't see that actually happening.
No,
I don't see that actually happening.
Will.
I still feel that Kyle will do some act of self-sacrifice in some way.
You think Kyle's gonna die?
I see it as a very real possibility. Yeah, I feel like they just set it up. I feel like it's being set up, and I don't want it to happen.
I thought the same thing, and you guys, of course, you make fun of me when I'm not on the show, screaming at my car radio whenever you talk. But I was right there with you on that. That I could see that happening as a possibility.
It just seems if you're having the family with the suds and the hose and all that stuff, and everyone's smiling and laughing, and Sophie's not there, but who cares about her? And
Girl,
yeah, exactly.
Two of them.
She had a line this episode. Sophie had a line.
Good for her.
And what did Lana tell her? Don't shut up.
No talking.
No talking.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel. When Lana stood up to the mayor and everything, I was big into that. I was like, yes, good. I still.
Did we talk about this, by the way? The mayor is the actor who played the bartender in Perry.
Well, he was also the original Gabe Sullivan.
Was he?
I think I mentioned that on the show. I didn't know.
I may have forgotten that. You probably did mention it. I've forgotten it.
Sullivan in a deleted scene, and then
okay,
and we got the actual Gabe Sullivan.
Right.
I like Lana more and more.
Yes.
Fascinating episode. I never disliked her, but there's I guess there's some, and I don't mean this mean because I love Kristen and I love Lana on Smallville, but Lana on Smallville kind of became the butt of every joke.
Oh yes.
It's hard to, through no fault of Kristen whatsoever. It was just what they gave her.
Right. It was more of a dig on. I mean, I feel like a lot of fans gave Alan Miles crap for it, but
head trauma after head trauma.
Right.
So I'm not going to say there's negative connotation going into a new show with Lana, but there's also that holdover. You're like, what are they going to do? How are they going to utilize her this time?
Right. So, for me, it was more, I was afraid of a love triangle and didn't want to see it happen. But as we got further into the season and it was clear that wasn't going to happen, I embraced her more and more.
Thought that was going to be, and every time Robin says that, I cringe. I love Robin to death, but every time Robin's like, yeah, now there's Kyle's dead, now there's a love triangle. I know he doesn't mean it because I know how much he loves Clark and Lois. He's being funny, but every time I'm just like, stop saying that. I don't want.
I know. Don't even joke about that.
Never thought they would do that though. I never imagined. Obviously, those first couple episodes, Lana is making eyes, and there was that whole she was on his Facebook page joke and all that stuff. But I just feel like
right.
awkward. Kyle didn't really like Clark and Lois anyway, so I just felt like that was amping up that awkwardness between the two because you're putting out there that yes, the two of them used to date. But I never saw it as I'm still pining for him.
Sure.
Once we got away from that and it was clear that was not the case.
Exactly.
That's been better. And thank God they didn't do it after the whole your mom inside your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Larna.
Yeah, Larna. That whole Lorraine McFly moment you got going on.
Yes, exactly.
So no, but I whether they moved away or not, I mean, they could move away and then, for summer hiatus and then end up back,
sure.
Start of season 2 or something. But place your bets on Kyle's death. I don't know.
I hope not, but there are just indicators that make me think that they're leaning there.
Expendable characters, I feel like at this point. There's Kyle, there's Sam, and there's Steele. And I feel like one of the three of those is going to perish.
Oh, I really hope it's not John, but no, I don't think John. I feel like John has threads that could propel him into a second season. With the daughter, with the sister.
But I also think that those threads could also be just what's been keeping him around right now.
Yeah, but then why give him the ability to take out Superman? Why entrust him with that if he's not going to make it?
No, you make an excellent point there. I don't know.
Sam might be the most likely, honestly.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I said that previously that I don't see a version where he comes out of this alive. But I've really I've enjoyed I was critical in the beginning, not so much of the performance, just of the characterization of Sam Lane on the show, and I've really enjoyed the last several with him through.
Yes,
I'd say A Mother Where Art Thou forward.
Yes,
how he has been integral.
Yeah,
and far more. I'll never doubt you again, Clark, and that kind of thing.
And I was skeptical about that at first because it seemed like every time he says that he goes back on his word. But this time he was talking about putting it in concrete and throw it in the ocean. So I was like, all right, you seem to...
entire project that he's spent the last several years, spearheading, and I could see him making peace with Clark and then dying.
I could see it. I
hope nobody dies. Let me say that.
Same.
I don't want any of them to, but we're getting toward the end of that season where something's got to happen.
Something. There's got to be someone's going to sacrifice something for someone at some point.
We don't drag father figures out 5 years anymore. We don't do that mess.
Right.
I said, I may have said on Krypton, I can't remember, or when this show started, but if Smallville was on today, I know we talk about it too much, but it's a Superman property. We talk about Lois and Clark and other ones too. If Smallville were on today, the pilot would have ended with Jor-El's voice coming out of the ship.
That's right.
All pilots, 42-minute pilots now come with a cliffhanger, to wrap you in.
Yes.
The Lost effect, I guess.
Yes.
So, because I feel like every show after Lost that tried to be Lost, you think everything's fine, and even what This Is Us, the whole pilot episode, then you find out it's the three. Spoiler for a show that's 6 years old now.
That was a great pilot, though. Oh,
I can tie it all together though, because Justin Hartley was Aquaman, and now Justin Hartley is going to be Superman. Did you see this?
Oh, really? No, I didn't see this.
Injustice. They're turning Justice into a animated
movie.
To voice Superman.
I like that for him.
Yeah, but I don't like Injustice. So
no, I don't like Injustice. But I like him voicing Superman.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun to watch. That would be the only reason to watch it.
Sincerely, yes. because I do not like Injustice. I have
well,
fundamental problems with Injustice.
No.
We can talk about that another time, but
we can. I'll tie it right in here now to say, as much as I love Lois Lane, I'm so scared to see how they're actually going to do that sequence.
yeah, yep.
I won't be watching. Anyway, all that to say, but Tal, let's get back to that. The topic at hand. 2 episodes remaining.
Yes.
Obviously. One, well, both referencing him, I feel like, the Eradicator, obviously. And then the Last Sons of Krypton. Do you feel like Edge is completely gone? Do you feel like Edge is dead? Tal's dead?
Yes. I think Tal-Rho is gone. From the way he was talking about it and being afraid of doing it, unless there's some way of him sticking around that he didn't know about, it sounds like he knew that he would be surrendering himself. And so I think he's gone.
See, I feel like we'll get, even if he dies, I guess that's the other expendable character. I feel like whatever they do to him to stop him will not absolve him, but will solve the Eradicator of it all. And they'll be left with a dying Tal back in control of his mind.
So like a Darth Vader situation where in the end he's Anakin again and he saves the universe.
I don't know that he's going to self-sacrifice.
He did seem, just to pursue that for 1 second, there did seem to be a part of him that didn't want to. There seemed to be a part of him that was having an inner struggle.
Well, I maintained that episode when Clark's getting pummeled by the red light, he looked, I'm not going to say sad that he had to watch him do it, but I know that part of that was him having to endure it and knowing how painful it was, because he had to do it for so many years, apparently, in his own fortress. But he looked like he didn't want to have to do that to Clark.
He looked conflicted, at least.
Like conflicted. That's the best way to say it. He looked conflicted, definitely.
Yeah. You may be right. You may have a point there. There may be a glimmer of Tal-Rho still under the surface who comes back out. The same way that Zod hadn't completely taken over Superman, right?
Magic word.
This is Edward.
It was funny, they made on the previously on, they made reference to Zod again. And then there was nothing. The Zod thing is so weird to me. That was
strange. That kind of felt like Cyborg Superman on Supergirl. It was sort of like, you just, why?
Like, why even name him if you're not gonna? You didn't even have Superman say kneel before Zod. You didn't even have the best setup. I feel like was the whole walkie-talkie communication between Edge and Jordan. Why would you not have him say the son of Kal-El will kneel before Zod? Like, why did you name? Why couldn't it have just been some other ancillary character?
Yeah,
it was weird to me.
Jaxer or somebody, like I don't know.
Clark and Ben in this episode did it. There was some, feeling that rage, feeling that ability to, I don't know. I was a little taken aback that it ended up being Zod altogether. Of course, at the end of that episode, we'd find out. No, it was the beginning of last week's episode when you find out it was Zod, and I wasn't on to talk about it with you guys, and I was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Talk about conflicting.
He's gone forever, it would seem.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
We'll talk more about Tal and the spoilers, I guess, here in just a second. In the meantime, email us, supermantvtalk@gmail.com. We're online, supermantvtalk.com. On the Twitter, where Robin handles things.
Yes, Superman TV Talk, where Robin is live tweeting with the East Coast each week. Starkville House of L on Instagram.
Got that one too. So we appreciate Robin always making us look good online and making us sound good on here. We miss you. We'll see you back next week, hopefully, or next time. We're going to be off again. I keep forgetting.
Right.
Another break ahead of us. So, am I forgetting anything?
Just rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and find us anywhere you find your podcasts. And again, check out Krypton site, KSite TV. Craig is doing some great work over there. So make sure to check that out.
Absolutely. Until next time,
We're always around.
Too many questions lead back to our family and the very secrets that keep you safe.
There's a bigger picture we're not seeing. We need to tell people the truth, no matter how scary it is. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
I don't like Lois Lane crying.
Never like that.
There's a lot going on in this episode.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot. Look, there's a lot going on here. That was the trailer for the next episode, episode 14, which is entitled The Eradicator. And I was going to pull up the official description for the episode, courtesy of Krypton site. It was just posted, so hot off the presses. The heart of Smallville. They're going back to the bench. Lois is about Jordan as he and Sarah continue to grow closer. Meanwhile, Clark pays Lana a visit, and lastly, Jonathan has been spending more and more time with John Henry. This episode was directed by Alexandra LaRoche and written by Max Cunningham and Brent Fletcher. And that just reminded me, I failed to mention who wrote and directed episode 13 at the top, as Robin is always wonderful to do. So I apologize for that. I'm actually going to remedy that right now because those people deserve their due. So Failsafe was written by Jai Jamison and Christy Korzek and was directed by Ian Small. So there you go on that one. All right. So the Eradicator, real quickly, we'll discuss what has happened in this trailer. It is narrated by Sam, who says there are too many secrets that get back to this family, referring to obviously the Kents and the Lanes. Mark and Lois are standing in the kitchen with Jordan and Jonathan. We also see a shot of John Henry and Jonathan in the farm as Jonathan's checking out the battle suit, which was reference we got this episode too. It's talking about
building robots. It's a war suit.
And Jonathan says it's a war suit. We see a shot of Leslie Larr in her own kryptonite cage inside the DOD. We're back in the base camp at DOD, set up on Main Street of Smallville, where Superman, Lois, Sam, and Irons in his battle suit are all talking. And then we see that this is not happening until Tuesday, August 10th. Good grief. Clark and Lois walk into, I think this is Smallville High.
Yeah, I think so.
Auditorium there where we saw Sarah perform previously. Looks like things are coming to a head with the whole Edge thing. We see signs, picketers say justice for Smallville, and things like that. So obviously the community is getting more and more angry about whatever is happening. And then I see one in the background that says hashtag truth, hashtag Smallville. So the town is wanting answers for what has happened. I wonder if there's been more fallout from that, if something else kind of takes place. I did kind of enjoy this. It was almost like a real world reaction.
Yeah.
Versus what we would have gotten on, say, a Smallville, where everybody would have just been normal the next week. We're seeing a prolonged response to, and an appropriate response to what is happening in town, I feel like.
Yes.
We see Superman on the ground. So something's brought him to his knees. We see Lana and Kyle jump at something, scared, in their own living room. What could that be?
In their own living room.
Their own living room. Something has scared them.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if they're watching something on TV.
Kind
of looking downward angle. I don't know. I wonder if they're watching something on TV and reacting to it. They don't jump backward. They just kind of.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Kind of.
That's a good catch, actually. I think you might be nailing that.
And then the moment that broke our hearts was in what looks to be in Main Street of Smallville. I can't guarantee that. There are police lights going all off and on, blue and red lights, I do believe. So it looks like maybe they are in the main street of Smallville. Superman and Lois embracing as Lois cries and asks, "What are we gonna do?" I feel like one of the twins has been taken.
Yes, I agree.
That's my first initial reaction to that, right?
Yes, I agree. And Last Sons of Krypton comes right after this, and so I'm just trying to draw connections, right? And yeah, is it Edge holding a twin hostage in some way, or Lar, or I don't know. But
I can't imagine. I mean, unless this is where Sam dies.
Possibly. Don't see much of him in this trailer.
I mean, you do there at the he narrates it.
Ooh.
Come back to our family.
Huh.
And then, oh gosh, you killed him off and then had an episode left. I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right.
No, I don't. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Earlier on in the season, I was like, I feel like that's coming. It has to be coming, but I don't want it anymore.
No.
I didn't want it then, but in calling things, I don't want that.
No. Nope. For sure don't want it now.
I want to see Bitsy like that. I don't want to see Lois like that.
I am bracing myself for the emotional distress I'm going to feel after watching that, because just that clip was it shook me. So I don't know.
Ugh. Well, we will find out on August 10th. I cannot believe we have to wait for another break. But then that's it. Two more.
That's it.
One piece of news we did not talk about at the beginning of the episode, but you kind of assume that's always coming, is the Blu-ray release.
Yes, true.
Season 1, which is going to be quickly October 19th, less than 2 months after the finale airs. So
no more of that 6 to 12 month wait period.
That sucker's ready to go.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. You can check out the cover art over on Krypton site. They use that really good key art too, for the cover.
Yeah, I love that one.
So we'll be back to talk about the last 2 episodes, and I hope we are all 3 together to discuss the last 2 episodes together.
Yes, please. Let's make it happen.
Yes. All right. Frank, thanks for being here.
Thanks for always being around.
Robin, we miss you. Love you.
Love you, bud. Bye.
Okay. Swig.
Swiggity swig.
Good morning. Warning. Warning. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.